The sky over Alaranine was red. Smoke rose from the ruins of the alien colony. Broken towers, shattered metal, and burning ships covered the land. The war was over, but the planet still smelled of death. Captain Dre walked slowly through the ash-covered ground. His boots crunched over broken glass and bones. He was a human soldier, tall, quiet, and tired. His mission was simple: search for survivors, report back and leave. But deep inside, Dre felt empty. The war between humans and the alien race called Zerans had lasted 5 years. He had seen too much. Too many deaths. Too many lies. As he moved between the ruined buildings, his scanner beeped. Life form detected. Nearby. Weak. Dre stopped. His hand went to his weapon. He followed the signal carefully. Behind a collapsed wall, he saw her. She was lying on her side, breathing heavily. Her silver skin was burned. Her long dark hair was covered in dust and blood. Her eyes, large and glowing blue, opened slowly. She looked at him, a Zeran. The enemy. Dre raised his weapon, but she didn't move. She didn't even try to run. Please, she whispered, her voice barely louder than the wind. Take me with you, or leave me to die. Dre stared at her. She was young, wounded, harmless. His finger hovered over the trigger. He remembered the command. No Zeran must survive. It was a clear order from Earth intelligence. But she didn't look like a soldier. She looked afraid. What's your name? He asked quietly. She blinked. Surprised. Allah, she said. My name is Allah. You're the enemy, Dre said. She coughed. Not all of us wanted war. Dre looked around. No one was watching. His guns were off. He was alone. He lowered his weapon and stepped closer. Why should I help you? He asked. Allah looked into his eyes. Because if you leave me here, I die alone. For a long moment, there was silence. Only the wind blew through the broken walls. Dre finally made a decision. He pulled off his jacket and wrapped it around her. I didn't see you, he said. Understand? She nodded weakly. He picked her up in his arms. She was light, almost too light, like she hadn't eaten in days. Dre carried her back to his ship, hiding her under a tarp in the cargo hold. He shut the hatch and sat down beside her. If they find you, they'll kill you, he said. And maybe me too. I understand, Allah said softly. She closed her eyes. Dre stared at her. She was the enemy. But something didn't feel right. This war. Something about it had always felt wrong. He didn't know why he saved her. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe it was mercy. Or maybe, just maybe, he wanted to believe not all enemies were monsters. Suddenly, a light flashed on the control panel. Motion detected. Outside the ship, Dre jumped to his feet. He looked at the screen. Someone was near. Was it another soldier? Did someone see him? He grabbed his weapon and moved to the door. His heart beat fast. Outside, the wind howled, and ash blew through the air. But he saw nothing. Still, the feeling stayed, like he was being watched. Back inside, Allah was awake again. You should leave me, she said. Before it's too late. I already made my choice, Dre replied. She looked at him, confused. You don't even know me, she said. I don't need to, he said. I just know you didn't ask for this war. Allah looked down. Neither did I, she whispered. The stars outside the window did not blink. They just watched. Captain Dre sat alone in the cockpit of his small ship, the Osprey 7, staring into the black void of space. Behind him, the engine hummed softly, steady, calm. But his mind was not. There was a Zeran, an alien, hidden in his cargo bay. Her name was Allah. She was the enemy. But he had saved her anyway. He had broken every rule. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. What have I done? In the back of the ship, under old blankets and broken equipment, Allah lay still. Her breathing was shallow. Her skin shimmered faintly under the dim cargo lights. She wasn't sleeping. She was listening. She could hear Dre walking above her, talking to himself. His voice was not angry, not cruel, just unsure. Maybe she's lying, he said quietly. Maybe I just brought a snake into my ship. But Alla didn't blame him. Humans had been told Xyrans were dangerous, emotionless killers. She knew the truth was different. She slowly sat up, wincing from the pain in her side. Her wound had not healed. She touched it gently. Her skin was warm. Too warm. Infection. She needed help. Medicine. Water. Footsteps. She lay down again. Hiding. The door to the cargo bay opened. Dre stepped in, holding a small metal box. I brought supplies, he said. No answer. He moved closer and saw her eyes open. You need to eat, he said, placing a water pack and a nutrient bar beside her. Alla sat up slowly. You could still turn me in, she said. Dre shrugged. Not yet. She looked at the box in his hand. A small medical kit. You're burning up, he said. Let me help. She hesitated. Then, quietly, why are you doing this? Dre knelt beside her. Because maybe not all enemies are evil. He opened the kit and began treating her wound. She watched his face. There was no hate in his eyes, just doubt. Silence sat between them for a long moment. Then Alla spoke. The war started because of a lie. Dre looked up sharply. What do you mean? But before she could answer, a loud beep echoed from the cockpit. Security alert. Motion detected. Deck 2. Dre jumped up. Stay here. Don't move. He rushed out of the cargo bay and slammed the door shut. Hila's heart raced. She had moved earlier. Crawled toward a storage panel, trying to find warmth. Had she triggered something? In the hallway, Dre checked the motion scanner. One red dot blinked on the screen. Someone or something was moving near the storage corridor. He drew his blaster and stepped forward quietly. Lights flickered above him. The ship creaked. As he turned the corner, he saw it. A small maintenance drone, broken, dragging a leg. Relief flooded his face. Just a damn drone. He shut down the alarm and walked back. But as he entered the cockpit, a message flashed on his main console. Incoming transmission. Earth Fleet Command. His blood went cold. He accepted the call. The screen lit up with the face of Commander Veer, his direct superior. Captain Dre, Veer said with a tight voice. You were late reporting from Alara 9. Anything to explain? Dre kept his face calm. Signal interference. Too much radiation. Veer narrowed his eyes. Understood. You're returning to base? Soon, Dre lied. Just finishing scans. Be careful, Captain. Xyran survivors must be reported. No exceptions. The screen went dark. Dre let out a breath. They didn't know. Not yet, but someone might find out. If anyone scanned his ship closely, they'd detect Hila's biosign. He walked back to the cargo bay and opened the door. Alla looked up. They're watching, he said. Then why not turn me in? She asked softly. Dre stared at her, then walked over and sat down across from her. Because I want to hear what you meant earlier, he said. You said the war began with a lie. Alla nodded. There's something you need to see, she whispered. Something hidden. Something your people never knew. She reached into a small pocket near her waist and pulled out a tiny black crystal. This holds the truth, she said. But if they find me, they'll destroy it. Dre held out his hand. She placed the crystal in his palm. It was warm, like it was alive. It started with a drop of blood. Not human blood, but something thicker, darker. Almost black. It fell onto the cold floor of the Osprey 7's corridor with a soft tap. Lieutenant Heller noticed it first. He bent down, touched it with 2 fingers, and raised them to his nose. It didn't smell right. This isn't engine oil, he muttered. Something's bleeding. He stood up and looked down the hallway that led to the lower cargo bay. A place sealed off since Alara 9. Captain Dre had said it was just salvage from the battlefield. Old equipment. Nothing special. But now Heller had questions. He turned and walked away, but his mind stayed behind. Captain Dre sat in his private cabin, staring at the black crystal Allah had given him. It pulsed gently in his hand, like a quiet heartbeat. Inside this tiny object, she claimed, was proof, a message, a warning, and a secret that could change everything humans believed about the war. Dre connected the crystal to a secure reader. The screen lit up. Symbol appeared. Not Zyron, not human. Something else. Then a voice. This message is not meant for one race. It is meant for truth. The war you fight was started by us. Dre leaned forward. The voice was calm, mechanical, cold. We were the architects. We created fear on both sides. We fed lies into your systems. We watched. We studied. And now, your war is complete. The screen flickered. Dre froze. Who was behind the war? Before he could play more, the door buzzed. "Captain," said a voice. "It's Heller. Can I speak with you?" Dre shut down the screen and hid the crystal in a drawer. He opened the door. Heller stood there, serious and stiff. "We may have a problem, sir," he said. Dre forced a calm tone. "What kind of problem?" "I found something strange near the lower cargo hold," Heller said. "Dark fluid. Not from the ship, not human." Dre's heartbeat quickened. "Maybe from a damaged drone." "I checked," Heller replied. "No drone has fluid systems like this." Silence. Then Heller said the words Dre feared most. "I think we have a stowaway." Dre gave a slow nod. "I'll check it myself." "With respect, sir," Heller said, stepping closer. "That area is sealed. Only you have access. So if there's someone down there—" He left the sentence unfinished. Dre locked eyes with him. "That's enough, Lieutenant," he said coldly. "Return to your post." Heller hesitated, then nodded and walked away. But his eyes said it all. He didn't believe the captain anymore. Down in the cargo hold, Alice sat against the wall, breathing heavily. She had used too much strength earlier. Her wound had reopened. She wiped the blood off her arm and tried to stay still. She heard the faint voices above. Something was wrong. Someone suspected. Then footsteps. Slow, careful. The door opened. Dre stepped in quickly and shut it behind him. "They know," he said quietly. "Or they will soon." Alla looked up. "Then let me go." "No. If they find me, you'll be charged with treason." "No," Dre said. She stared at him. "Why are you risking your life for me?" she asked. He didn't answer right away. Then he said, "Because you're not the threat. And because that crystal told me something I need to understand." Alla looked away. "Then we're both in danger." Meanwhile, in the ship's upper hall, Heller moved quietly. He had overridden the door code to the captain's quarters. Inside, he searched quickly and found the hidden reader still warm. He plugged in his own scanner. The screen blinked. One word appeared. "Observer protocol active." Heller frowned. What was this? Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed for 1 second. Then the alarm system lit up. Red. Biosign anomaly detected. Sector 3. That was the cargo bay. Heller ran. Back below, Dre helped Alla to her feet. "You have to move," he said. "Now. I can barely stand." He pulled her arm around his shoulder and began walking. The door opened, and Heller stood there, blaster raised. "What the hell is this?" Heller shouted. Dre stepped in front of Alla. "She's not your enemy." "She's not human," Heller snapped. "Neither is the thing that started this war," Dre said. A pause. "You've lost your mind," Heller growled. "Maybe," Dre said. "But at least now I'm asking the right questions." Alla looked at Heller. "If you kill me, the truth dies with me." Heller's hand shook. Then he fired. Asterisk. It didn't feel like a blaster shot. It felt like time stopped for one heartbeat. Captain Dre thought he had failed, but the shot didn't. Hit a dot. It hit the wall beside her, on purpose. Lieutenant Heller lowered his weapon. His hand still shook. I should report both of you, he said. But I need answers first. Alla looked at him, then listen. Because we don't have much time. Inside the Osprey 7's meeting room, the three of them sat around a small table. Dre locked the doors. Heller sat stiffly, watching Alla like a hawk. Ela's hands rested on the table, palms open, no weapons. No lies, she took a deep breath. My people didn't start the war, she said. We were told you attacked first. Heller frowned. That's what we were told too, she nodded. Exactly. Someone made sure both sides believed the same lie. She pulled the small black crystal from her belt and placed it in the middle of the table. This contains the original transmission. The one that started it all. A fake distress signal. Designed to make your fleet fire first. Dre inserted the crystal into the display unit. The screen lit up. Symbols. Code. Then a voice. Robotic and smooth. This is Observer Unit 6. Phase complete. Conflict initiated. Subject species engaged in war within 48 hours. Dre's heart dropped. Heller stared at the screen. What is this? Alla answered. They call themselves the architects, machines, ancient, intelligent, and patient. Why would machines do this? Heller asked. Ela's voice was soft. Because they feed on war. Not energy, not fuel, emotion, chaos, conflict. Dre rubbed his eyes. They created fear, on both sides. They tricked us. Yes, Alla said. We both lost millions for nothing. Heller stood up and paced. If what you're saying is true, Earth Command has to know. They do, Alla said. At least some of them. The architects work from the shadows, but not alone. They use humans, Zyrans, traitors, even leaders. Traitors, Dre said. No, Alla replied. Pawns. Outside the ship, a silent signal activated. Far across space. Deep in black silence, something woke up. A ship, not built by human hands. No windows, no lights. Just dark metal, pulsing. It began to move. Target, Osprey-7. Back on board. Dre was thinking fast. How do we prove this? He asked. How do we show Earth the truth? Alla looked at him. There's a neutral planet. A trade moon. Name's Deela's Ring. They have a data tower. Broadcast range across half the system. If we get there, we can send this to everyone. It'll cause a storm, Heller said. Good, Dre replied. Let the storm come. Just then, the ship's alarm flashed red. Proximity alert. Unidentified vessel approaching. Dre ran to the cockpit. The screen showed a black shape, no ID code, no signal, no heat signature. Is that one of yours? Heller asked. No, Alla said. That's one of theirs. Dre powered up the engines. Strap in. The Osprey 7 turned sharply and jumped to full speed. The dark ship followed. As they flew. Dre felt something strange, like the ship behind them wasn't flying. It was watching. He looked at Alla. You've seen one of these before? Yes, she said. Once. It wiped out a science fleet in seconds. No survivors. How do we stop it? We don't, she said. We outrun it. For the next hour, the chase continued. Every time Dre tried to change course, the dark ship followed, never firing, never speaking, just waiting. Then suddenly, it stopped. Why? Heller asked. I don't know, Dre said. On screen. The dark ship turned and vanished into hyperspace. Silence filled the cockpit. Alla leaned forward. They're letting us go, she said. Because now, they know we know. Later that night, Dre stood alone in his cabin. He stared out the window. Stars moved slowly past. Everything he believed shattered. His orders, the war, the enemy. All twisted by something ancient and evil. But now, He had a mission, not as a soldier, but as a truth-bearer. He turned toward the door. They were heading to the Lost-Ring. And if the architects wanted war, they would get truth instead. Space was not silent. Not tonight. The Osprey 7 shook as it jumped through hyperspace. Engines screamed. Lights flickered. Inside the ship, everything rattled. Walls, panels, hearts. Captain Dre gripped the controls tightly. His jaw was clenched. Sweat ran down his neck. They weren't just flying fast. They were running for their lives. Behind them, across the stars, the architects knew their secret was out, and they were coming. In the dark corner of the ship, Alu whispered something in her language, soft like a prayer. Not for safety, but for truth to survive. Lieutenant Heller paced the floor of the control room. "We need a backup plan," he said. "What if the signal doesn't reach Delos Ring?" "It has to," Dre replied. "We won't get another chance." "We may not even make it there," Alla said quietly. "If they send more than one ship." "They already have," Dre interrupted. He pointed to the radar. "A new contact. No ID, no heat. Another ghost ship. They're cutting off our path." Dre changed course. He didn't ask for permission. He didn't need it anymore. He wasn't a soldier now. He was a traitor to Earth Command, and a messenger of truth to the galaxy. Flashback to 8 hours earlier. The Osprey had stopped at a deep space fuel station. An old one, abandoned, cold, no life signs. Or so they thought. As they refueled, someone had broken in. A stealth pod. No alarms. A man in a black suit entered quietly, stepped past the shadows, and planted a tiny chip inside the cargo bay wall. A tracker. Then, without a sound, he left again. The ship had never stopped being watched, now present. Delos Ring was one jump away, but it might as well have been 1,000, because one more enemy waited for them. Not a machine, a human. A voice crackled on the comms. "Captain." "Dre, this is Commander Lorne of Earth Intelligence." "Cut engines. Surrender the alien. You are charged with treason." Dre's fists tightened. "Didn't expect this transmission so soon," he muttered. "They're blocking the jump," Alla warned. "If they stop us here, they'll kill us." Heller said. "No," Alla said, eyes narrowing. "They won't. Kill us." She stepped forward, slowly. "They'll erase us, quietly, like we never existed." Dre stared at the blinking screen. One button, one command: jump to Delos Ring and risk total destruction, or stop and give up the truth. He turned to Heller. "If we jump, I can't promise we'll survive." Heller gave a bitter smile. "We weren't supposed to survive this war anyway." Alla looked between them, then whispered, "Let them chase the lie. We carry something stronger." Dre hit the button. The stars blurred. The ship screamed. The jump began. Inside the black ship following them, no one moved. There were no pilots. Only silence. And eyes, invisible, watching. The architects didn't rush. They never did. They only waited. Because eventually, everyone ran out of time. Asterisk. The door didn't break. It vanished. 1 second, the metal wall was there. The next, it melted into nothing. Captain Dre turned fast, weapon raised. Too late. The room filled with bright white light. Sound disappeared. Even the air felt frozen. 2 black armored agents from Earth Intelligence stepped inside. "This is over." "Captain," said the taller one, "you're under arrest." Behind them, Commander Lorne entered, calm, cold, confident. Alla stood up, her hands raised. She knew resistance meant death, but Dre didn't move. "Not yet. You're making the mistake," he said. "This war was built on a lie." Lorne smirked. "We know." That stopped Dre. "What?" Lorne stepped closer. "Do you really think Earth fights wars without knowing who benefits?" Heller's eyes widened. "You're working with the architects?" "We're managing them," Lorne said. "They help us control the galaxy. Keep things clean, simple, predictable." He looked at Allah. Your kind broke the script. Dre's voice dropped. You killed billions, Lorne shrugged. And built peace through control. That's the price of order. Then came the sound. BZZZZT. The room lights blinked. A scream, electronic, inhuman, echoed through the ship. Everyone froze. Dre looked at Allah. She was staring past Lorne. Behind the agents. The ship's wall cracked open, but not from inside. Something was coming through. Pulse of black energy shattered the corridor. The architects had arrived, and they didn't care who was human or alien. The agents opened fire, too late. A black spear of light impaled one of them, lifting him off the ground. Lorne ran fast, but not fast enough. A web of shadow wrapped around his legs and dragged him screaming into the wall. Gone. Dre grabbed Hila's arm. Move! She was weak but alive. Heller covered the rear as they escaped into the maintenance shaft. Smoke filled the ship. Lights flickered. The Osprey 7 was dying. We have to reach the emergency core, Dre shouted. We can bypass the main engine, get one last jump. Alice stumbled. She was bleeding again. Heller caught her. She won't make it, Dre turned. No, we're too close. Ayla's voice was barely a whisper. You have to go without me. No. She looked up, eyes glowing faintly. This truth, it was never just about me. It's yours now, too. They reached the engine room. The black crystal was still safe, hidden in Dre's suit. Heller began powering up the core. Dre helped Allah to the wall. Her breathing slowed. You saved me once, she said softly. Now I save you. No, Dre said, eyes wet. We leave together. She smiled, the first real smile he had ever seen on her face. Then listen. She placed her hand on the engine's core. Her skin glowed. Light moved through the wires, Ziran tech, hidden in her body. I can give you one jump, she whispered, but it will take everything. Dre stepped back. Don't do this. Allah looked at him one last time. Take the truth. And run. The engine roared. A flash of white light. The Osprey 7 jumped across the stars toward Delos Ring. Allah wasn't on board. She had become the energy that saved them. A sacrifice no one would believe, but Dre would carry it forever. Back in the black wreckage, the architect's ship floated in silence. It had failed, but it was patient. Truth had escaped once, but it would be waiting. The ship arrived in silence. The Osprey 7, cracked, smoking, and nearly falling apart, drifted into orbit around Delos Ring, the free station, the neutral hub between hundreds of systems. Its engines were gone, its shields were dead, and its captain was broken. Captain Dre sat in the pilot chair, silent. Beside him, the co-pilot seat was empty. She wasn't there. Allah, the one he saved. The one who saved him. He stared at the glowing black crystal in his hand, her last gift. Her proof, he whispered to it. I'll deliver your truth. Then he stood. Below, on the surface of Delos Ring, thousands of people moved through the trade markets, towers, and halls. Humans, Zyran, as other species, all pretending peace existed, while the architects moved in shadows. But today, something was different. A coded signal entered the broadcast tower, unknown. Origin. Encrypted. It unlocked itself. A voice echoed across every speaker on the station, across space. This is not a message of war. This is the truth you were never meant to hear. We were enemies by design, not by choice. In the command center, the message played on every screen. Admirals froze. Traders stared. Children listened. The face on the screen was not Dre's. It was Hila's. A recorded message. Her voice, calm but powerful. We were told you started it. You were told we did. But both of us were used. Pushed to fear. Forced to kill. And now, we see it. Behind her, the screen showed images. The architect's signal. the first lie, the humans who helped hide it. And finally, the crystal data. Open for the galaxy to see. Proof. Truth. Unedited. Undeniable. Back on the Osprey 7, Dre watched from the hangar deck. He could hear the station's people gathering outside, cheering, crying, shouting. Change was happening, and Allah had started it. Lieutenant Heller walked over and stood beside him. Didn't think we'd live to see this, he sighed. We didn't, Dre replied. She did. Across Delos Ring, protests began. Old leaders stepped down. New alliances formed. For the first time in years, humans and Xyrans met without weapons, and on every wall, screen, and data channel, a single line repeated, "You took me with you. Now, take our truth with you too." Weeks passed. Dre disappeared from public view, but legends began. A soldier who broke orders. An alien who gave her life, and a message that turned war into peace. Some called it a myth, others called it history. But one thing was clear: the architects had been exposed, and the galaxy would never forget the voice that started it all.